Man, look, I'm gonna need y'all's cooperation. Trick Daddy, Plies, this is Barbershop Talk, YJ. Well, actually, it's not Barbershop Talk. It's in the lab, YJ. And, yeah, man. Trick Daddy and Plies, what are we doing? What are we doing? Okay, let's run down a little bit of the behind the scenes. Trick Daddy, slip and slide all day, basically made slip and slide a household name in Florida and nationwide, I feel like, with the hits he did. Going to any basketball game in the late 90s and you would hear something from Trick Daddy. Go to any football game. This is how big Trick Daddy was. He had a pool. Of course, we seen that decline, and at the same time, we seen Plies incline, in which Plies' first album, after Plies, because Plies, he was, which I didn't even know, he was a wide receiver at what looks to be a D1 Miami Redskins team of Miami University in Ohio for 2 years. 1995, embarked on his musical career. Dropped out and signed to Slip and Slide Records. Joint ventures with Atlantic. Um, so he was the latter half of Slip and Slide Records. So the comparisons, you know, there is that comparison. When the Real Testament came out, people was like, "Oh, he on Slip and Slide." Well, ain't that Trick Daddy? Like people thought Slip and Slide was Trick Daddy's label, which it wasn't. Trick Daddy is not the owner, founder of Slip and Slide, and if he was, maybe he wouldn't have got into all them legal woes with the three bankruptcies that and all of that he did go through. And when it come to Trick Daddy, me personally, when it come to these two artists, I definitely rock with Trick Daddy's catalog more than Plies. Now, there's some ignorance in there because as of late, Plies went independent from what I know. Uh, when it comes to the books, when it comes to the industry, he's got 4 studio albums. Now, we all know Plies been dropping music, dropping videos, and all of that. So he kept going, but he looks to be doing it independently, in which there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm not gonna take that away from him. I do have to probably go and listen to some of his newer music, but this debate here, when I talk about barbershop talk, this debate goes to the hip hop heads, Southern hip hop heads especially, who were around this time whenever we grew to love Trick Daddy and what he brought in that, you know, when it come to that voice, when it come to that speech and that shit he talked, we grew to love that. And later on, we hear Plies, and it's a little bit different, but a lot of similarities. But all in all, when it come down to it, I got to rock with Trick on this. I got to rock with Trick Daddy just because the sound was more original to him. I feel like with Plies, even with the production, and that may be one of the things that puts Trick Daddy over Plies to me was the production. But I hate saying that because the Real Testament was crazy and the production was crazy. But when it came to Trick Daddy, there was an actual specific Florida sound that died out. Yes, it did die out, but there was a Florida sound. I feel like now there's no Florida sound. Like you hear a Florida artist, rapper, and maybe from his dialect you can tell, or from his the way he talks you can tell he's from Florida. But when it comes to the production, there's no more, and that goes for a lot of southern states. Um, when it comes to Texas, Houston rappers, you can kind of still tell just from the production, which I do like. But even if you go to the Midwest, like it's hard to there's no distinct sound to a region anymore. And Trick Daddy was a part of that era that there were distinct sounds of production for certain areas. You can go back to New Orleans bounce music. You can go back to the hyphy movement, where you still see, I still see remnants of the hyphy movement in Cali. Um, but that's not to take away from, of course, what Lil Jon did in Georgia. That's not to take away from the sound Rapper I had. That's not to take away from uh, any other, coast or whatnot. But with this Southern hip hop discussion, this this is why I said I really want the feedback from the people. I want y'all to tell me when it comes to these two artists, take Plies in his prime and Trick Daddy in his prime. And who you got? Who you got, man? That's all I'm asking. We might have to do verses on this. We was talking about this a while ago in the group chat or whatnot. But these two artists definitely both dope. Just from a standpoint of cadence and the way they flow, I can't take Plies over Trick Daddy, man. The voice that, and that's the crazy part because you really can't get none of it. You can't get either artist mixed up about some shit. Like there's not anybody that really sounds like Trick Daddy, and there's maybe somebody sound like Plies a little bit, but Plies got it. He got his own way of rapping and sound like this, like and Trick Daddy over the road, like Trick Daddy got that, So they both original in their own light. I don't want to take nothing away from Plies whenever I talk about Trick voice and his cadence and the flow and whatnot, because Plies had his own thing and he used to do it like this, and I don't know how he rapping now, but that's how he used to rap, and that was original to him, and I respect that. I respect the originality from artists. So I don't know. Get in that comment section, man. Tell me what y'all think, man. Tell me what y'all think.